Olá, bom dia. Carl Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show from expatsportugal.com. Oh, look at you all here already. Carolyn is here from Moscow. It is Mia Monday, of course, where we are learning about learning European Portuguese online, taking a few cheeky questions I'm sure that you will have. I've got a really important question for Mia about the rain, and we'll be finding about a new course that she's devised to help people learn Portuguese even quicker. So there you go, Caroline in Moscow. Bon dia from California, friends from Hank, people all over the world. Isn't that fantastic? Also hoping you'll be able to get the borders opened up again soon. We are too, Hank. That follows on from your message there that you hope we're all keeping safe in Portugal. Here, definitely, following all the lockdown restrictions, so on, and hopefully this will all be lifted and behind us very soon. Good morning, everyone from Joseph Marsh as well, over there in Fundão, in central Portugal. And, what an intro. Louise hasn't been here for a few days. That is the wonderful work of Pete Wilton Davis over there in Castanheira de Pera. We've got an end theme as well. And we've got a middle theme too. If ever I need to take a sip of water, if I'm choking or something like that, or a fruit fly has flown up my nose or into my eye, I have a special little video I could roll as well to deal with such a situation. Rizel is here. Bon dia, alegria. Yes, that's how we like to say hello here. Bon dia, alegria from Rizel, and also bon dia from Madeira, from Martina. Good morning to you, Martina. And good morning all. Cartiera is sunny. There's one of those fruit flies I was talking about. Good morning to you, Shelley and Andre. Before we go to a quick look at the weather and to Mia, let's say a few more hellos. Bon dia, todos. Have a great week, everybody. That's a really nice sentiment, Andre. How was your weekend? How's your week looking? We've got a fantastic week lined up here on the Good Morning Portugal show. Guests every day. So I'll tell you all about that as well. And a great webinar coming up, and the Man Cave and the Wine Club. Another busy week to look forward to here on Good Morning Portugal at expatsportugal.com. Nick is in London. Snowy London. What? I'm moaning about rain in Portugal and you've got snow in London. Is it nice? Is it laying crisp and even? Or is that slushy grey stuff over there, Nick? Bon dia from Jersey. I think original Jersey, not New Jersey. But then again, I don't know. It might be New Jersey. Bon dia. A lot of Portuguese people, of course, in America in New Jersey. Bon dia from Olga. Good morning to you, Olga. And just one final hello this morning before we go have a look at the weather. Watching from Twin Falls, Idaho, USA. Just waiting for the world to reopen for my D7 visa. Love this channel. We love you too as well. Welcome. Great to hear from you this morning. Yeah, from the USA. Hey, what was the Super Bowl result? Didn't have it on telly here. Bon dia from Pavor de Vargem, from Mark Rigby as well. Come back to your lovely comments and questions about European Portuguese. Great to hear from you all. Very quick look at the weather before I ask Mia to defend her Portuguese weather in just a moment. Let's I guess in the green room, head in hands already. Let's bring the weather onto the screen. The expatsportugal.com weather, everybody. Let's get that on the screen and see if more of this liquid will continue to fall from the skies. Oh my goodness, look. Yes, until next weekend it looks like. 15 degrees the high today. Currently 12 scattered clouds in the capital. But look, in the distance, Sunday. Look at that, sunshine. And Porto, 11 degrees, scattered clouds at the moment. That's where Mia is, 13 degrees to look forward to there, but no sun on the horizon there as yet. Same here in my part of the country, or certainly my weather system, 10 degrees, broken clouds, 13 degrees the high today. And I was looking at the window just now. I was thinking, oh, it's raining again. And that rain looks like not the, like big rain, like grains of rice. You got long grains, you got those short grains, you got those really plump. We had plump rain falling from the sky just now. I'm thinking, I don't know how much more of this I can stand. Faro, 13 degrees, scattered clouds, a high of 15 down there in the south. And even in the south, look, rain forecast pretty much every day this week. What on earth is going on? So let's bring Mia on now. Mia, really, you don't have
to. Hello. Hi.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. And you?
Very well, thank you. Well, and really, I should have said como estás to you.
Estou bem, e tu?
Brilliant. Yeah, sorry, back into English now. How was your Christmas?
Okay.
How's your New Year going? You're up in Porto, aren't you, this morning?
So my Christmas was fine, but we were just a few of us, contrarily to other years. You know, because of that pandemic that's around, I think you've heard of it.
Yeah, someone did mention it, actually. Yes, no, yeah.
Something about COVID or COVID. Yeah, so, but it was good. It was with my close family,
Okay.
just 5 or 6 of us, a very small group. And New Year's also fine. And yeah, but now I don't know what happened again here. We are all in a lockdown, actually. And yeah,
No,
you know
exactly.
about it probably, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Can't wait for it to. Well, I don't think we're going to return to as it was before. We're in the space of reinvention, I think, and co-creating a new future. I hope as we come out of this. So yeah, looking
You
forward.
think so? You know, for me as a Portuguese, you know how Portuguese people love to hug and kiss and things like that in comparison to other people, I guess. And it's really hard to think that I that I want, you know, I don't want to the new normal somehow. For me, it's a bit hard. I like to. That's a cultural thing. Like we really like to be with other people, and you know our beijinhos and all of that.
Yes, absolutely. No, I'm not saying for one moment you should stop that. I mean, you know, that would be miserable, wouldn't it? You know,
I don't know, but some people say that. Some people say like, it's never gonna go back to how it was, and I hope not. I hope in a way it will, but.
No, seriously, I need to say I'm not talking about that. I don't want Portugal to become some sort of sanitized, remote, socially distanced nightmare. You know, the question would be is like, how can we get back to that safely?
Exactly.
Not how do we make our lives completely socially distanced and miserable for the rest of eternity? No, definitely not. We need to get back to, a new normal for me would be where we're all supporting these local businesses that are really struggling at the moment. Going back.
Definitely, yes, this definitely. We have to think more about that. I agree with you.
Yes, and that's the reason why so many of these people here in this wonderful community of ours came to Portugal for that closeness and, you know, family life, being in the cafes, being in the restaurants. And we need to figure out a way of doing that again in a safe way, not saying that's not part of the future. No way. We didn't come here for that. And people who are watching, you know, from America and Russia this morning, they also are looking forward to being part of that. That's what they're sold on, and that's what they're passionate about. I'm guessing about Portuguese life. So definitely not. The new normal must include all the old-fashioned
hugs, everyone.
So I hope the Prime Minister.
I really miss hugging my mother. I just realized yesterday. I had this feeling like, when was the last time I hugged my mom? So.
And I don't think it's beyond us to find a safe way to do that.
No. I think we're going towards that. Hopefully, let's. Fingers crossed.
Yes, let's boost our health and vitality and our well-being such that that's possible, rather than becoming even more fearful and miserable and negative.
Exactly.
We've got to do it positively, haven't we? Absolutely. So part of your new year is developing new courses for people. You never stop, as far as I can see, innovating your wonderful products online. Could you, for people who didn't see you last time you were here, could you explain what it is you do essentially and how you go about it?
Okay, so I am a Portuguese teacher. I teach European Portuguese, so not the Brazilian Portuguese variant, but the European Portuguese spoken in Portugal. And I have a website. I started some years ago with a website writing articles about Portuguese and Portugal. I think you have the link somewhere there, then you can share. And then I had an idea because I saw how many people wanted to learn Portuguese. But specifically European Portuguese, but they could only find Brazilian Portuguese materials back then. Now there's a bit more out there, much more. But that was a common problem. So I used to teach in italki, which is a platform. I don't know, maybe some of you have heard of it. It's a platform with teachers where you can kind of hire a private teacher online. and then you have classes online. And I used to do that for some time. And then I kept receiving questions from my students like, but can you give me like a website where I can go to learn also online while, outside of the classes and stuff? And I thought, okay, there is not a lot of it, so I'm going to do something about it. So I started making my courses. My first course was the A1 level of the European Portuguese Master course. And then now I have A1, A2, B1, and B2 levels. And these courses are kind of focused a lot in grammar, vocabulary, but also in pronunciation and, listening, speaking also a bit. But then after this, I thought, okay, but there is something missing. I want something more in depth about sounds, the sounds of Portuguese, and how native speakers are really speaking, because I see that people really struggle with this. Like, I think a lot of people can relate. It happened to me in other languages as well, that, yeah, it's very pretty when you see everything, written down and all of that, but then you want to speak and then you get stuck, you don't understand, and then, or even you understand, but you can't come up with the words, or it's hard for you to pronounce, etc. So I developed another course. That was my second course, which is the European Portuguese speech course, which teaches you exactly those tricky sounds like the the j, the sh, the y, the ny, all of this that I know a lot of people struggle with, and many other sounds. And also I analyze speech really like from videos of native speakers, and I go like slowly through the videos and I explain like, this is what we do. That's why you're hearing os amigos when you're saying os amigos, the friends. No one speaks like this, right? So we kind of put everything together when we speak, and that's why it's so hard for people to understand sometimes what we are saying. I guess it happens in a lot of languages. I mean, I don't think there are a lot of languages that don't mix everything together at a certain point or another.
But I think what you're doing there is breaking it down for people, which is really important.
Exactly.
The world of the textbook or the online course is one thing, isn't it? When you see what's on the screen, and then how it's said is very different. And you're going that extra mile with your resources to show people exactly how to do it as a native speaker, which is really good. And it saves on those moments that we all experience in this community where we stand there proudly speaking in Portuguese as we think we've learned it, and there is a quizzical look like,
huh?
What? And you think, I've been practicing that at home, and it's not quite right. So Mia's helping with that angle as well of actually how Portuguese people speak Portuguese. I barely speak that myself this morning. So we'll come back a little bit more to ask you a bit more about your courses. Please do that as well, folks, in the comments here as well. If you've got a question for Mia Esmeriz, have I pronounced that correct?
Okay, my name is hard to pronounce even for Portuguese people because it's not a common name at all. And we say Esmeriz.
Esmeriz. Okay, I had 50-50 in my mind. Do I go for Esmeriz or Esmeriz? I'm going to thank you for that.
The stress is at the end more.
It's like a double Esmeriz. It's bouncy, isn't it? Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, alegria. Rather chilly here for South Devon. Possibly even snow tomorrow in Devon, in the southwest of the UK. There. Good morning, Penny. One of our wine ninjas. Bon dia from Spain this morning. España, from Leslie. Good morning to you. The sun returns. Just that one little sun graphic is enough to get Eric very excited there. Woohoo! Bon dia, says Eric. Andre, a busy week, Portuguese classes, and a lot of work this week. Thank you for asking. Well, my pleasure, Andre. Yes, what sort of weekend have you had, guys? How's your week looking? Hola, bon dia. More snow in Yorkshire from John. Good morning to you, John. Bon dia, Carl, and everyone. Lots of snow actually makes things look kind of pretty here in the Garden of England. Very nice, Pete. All you need is a little robin to bounce across onto a spade that was left upright in the garden to complete that festive scene. I'd take some rain. It's minus 44. I'm wondering, did I read that right? It's minus 44 degrees Celsius where I am in Canada. says Lingo Street. A fellow linguist there. Not sure if that's a teacher or a fan or whatever, but Lingo Street, you have our sympathies, and it makes me feel very pathetic to be moaning about a little bit of rain. But honestly, 30 days of it. How do Portuguese people cope with that, Mia?
I don't know. That's a very, very funny question.
Okay.
How do we cope with that? I think I'm just used to it, especially here in Porto, where I come from, where I live. I think it was always like this. In the winter time, we have a lot of rain. And that's why I find it very funny when, people that don't really know Portugal, they just think that Portugal is like a sunny place where it's always sunny. I've had this sometimes from people that never were here, but they didn't hear much about Portugal, but they say to me, I've heard this a lot, oh, so it's always sunny there, right? I'm like, no, not really. And for people that know Portugal, they know it's like that. I mean, in the Algarve, maybe a bit more sunny, but as you said, even today is raining there, right? So
even and that's the 300-day thing. I mean, I think it is true to say, and we should, we'll forget all about this when the time comes, when those blue skies are back, like it is behind me on this green screen.
True.
We will have forgotten about January in Portugal, and it'll be back to like, yes, Portugal, 300 days of sunshine, and all of us will be, ringing people up and on social media. Oh, just another one of those 300 days of sunshine here in Portugal.
I mean, yes, if you compare it to other places, for sure, it's very sunny and very nice. But then we have this sometimes, and you just have to think about the sunny days and, go on.
It's the other 65 days of rain that we need to make wine, and we need for the garden, and we need to top up the reservoirs. So let's just
we need the rain though as well, right? So
absolutely. I will stop moaning now. Bom dia, Carlos e todos. Very good. There's much more Portuguese being spoken in this community, which is great. Jacqueline Branco. Good morning to you, Jacqueline. Wow, lingo, talking about these minus 44 temperatures. Temperatures like that in Serbia, Pete remembers, and my eyelids froze to my eyeballs. That sounds very uncomfortable. Hopefully not while driving on a motorbike or something like that. Bom dia, alegria, esperando pelo sol. What does that mean? That's thrown me.
Esperando, that's the gerund for esperar. That means waiting for the sun.
Waiting for the sun. That's a very lovely phrase from Gail there. Thank you. Esperando para sol. And to Owen, look at this. So much Portuguese. Cada pequena cosa vai ficar tudo bem. A little thing.
Cada is every.
Yeah.
Every little thing is going to be all right. Every little thing.
Yes.
It's going to be all right.
That's Owen sent me a beautiful little video this morning of a little lad singing the Bob Marley tune, Three Little Birds, and there is a translation for you. That's cada pequena coisa vai ficar tudo bem. I did that.
There is a slight, like we say it a little bit differently, although I understand he made the exact translation.
Okay.
So here, if you would take cada pequena coisa vai ficar bem, would be already better. So without the tudo, because tudo just means everything. So you are saying every little thing is going to be everything okay. You understand? So if you take tudo, would be already better. Okay, cada pequena coisa vai ficar bem. We would probably say it more like todas as pequenas coisas vão ficar bem, something like that. So a little bit different, but the message is there. So well done, Owen.
Yes, it's good to have a go. I mean, that's part of it, isn't it? It's being brave enough to have a go, and then we've got a little bit of coaching.
Exactly.
We've learned something already. John, interested in Mia's view on why there has been a recent spike in cases. John, we've got her on for language, not epidemiology here. But I mean, feel free to speak to that if you wish, Mia. I've decided I'm a cultural immigrant because I love the Portuguese way. I think we do, don't we? Rain or no rain, we do love the Portuguese way, and we can't wait to get back to it. And look, responding to your what you said, virtual group hugs. Thank you, Hank.
That feels good. Thanks,
it does. And this what this is about. Being here is the virtual hug at 9 o'clock every weekday morning. I'm living vicariously through the expats in the live stream, says Lingo over there in Canada. Meanwhile, I'm here wearing thermal underwear in northern Alberta. Sometimes I ask people to send pictures in of what they're doing while they're listening to the show. Maybe that shouldn't be a request for you, Lingo, right now. Maybe you've got dressed and you're out of, well, not when you're out of your thermals, but when you've got something else. And when you're shoveling snow, that'd be an amazing picture to send in for us to put up on our social media. Muito bom dia, pessoal, desde uma chuvosa castanheira de pera. So it's like hello, a very good day to everybody. It's a rainy one here in Castanheira de Pera, basically.
It's muito bom dia, pessoal, desde uma because it's chuvosa.
Oh,
so, yeah. The city or the place, right? Castanheira de Pera.
Yes.
So, good morning, everyone, from a very rainy Castanheira de Pera.
And that preposition there, that desde is from, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to find out more about Mia's work, this is the best way through. We are affiliated to Mia's wonderful work. I particularly like it because it is online. And then we know that there are all sorts of ways of learning a language. But I was drawn to your work. Actually, one of the reasons is because it's free, the entry level.
Exactly.
But also because of the way you go about it and because it's online and you can get access to all of Mia's courses through this link here that's on the screen and in the comments. And if you're a premium member, as you can see, if you become a premium member, you also get a little bit of an extra discount as well, which is very generous from Mia. Look, Dona Graça is here as well. Graça, bom dia a todos. Real Portuguese people tune in as well. Bom dia from... now, this is an interesting one to pronounce, isn't it? Would this be Chaus?
No, that's Chãos.
Oh, that's a hard one to pronounce.
Yeah, exactly. That's like if you have almost a U, N, and then almost a G at the end, like But you don't really just see my lips never really close. So it's a nasal sound. So the sound is going to come through the nose. So,
But with the S sound on the end. So, Chãos, is that right?
Exactly. So since we have an S afterwards, we have a sh sound. Because an S at the end is going to sound like a sh. Unless you have a vowel afterwards. So if the next word starts with a vowel, then it's going to sound like z. So tricky there already, right? Imagine, if you had amigos after chãos. So chãos, amigos would transform into chãos amigos, you know? So
amigos.
If you have a vowel, it kind of changes that S sound at the end again. So that's one of the things I cover in the speech course, for example.
Very helpful. Okay, yeah, and also, news of a new course coming up to learn even quicker. We'll come back to that. But is that Chãos in central Portugal there? Because we used to drive through there, and I would, as we were coming down the hill into that town, I would always say, this is like a dad joke, I would say, watch out, everybody, we're literally descending into chaos now. But
do you know what chão means? Do you know what chão means?
Tell me.
Chão is floor.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. Yeah. Not confusing at all. Okay. And quero ser gato. Is that hoping for a cat?
Quero ser gato.
Quero ser gato. Yeah. What does that mean?
That means I want to be a cat.
I want to be a cat. All are welcome here. No judgment. I mean, that why wouldn't you on a cold, wet day today just curl up on a duvet somewhere for the rest of the day? Lovely to have your company. I don't think I've seen that name on the screen before. Lingo Street. You could just sit in a chest freezer for the same effect. Yeah, they might just raise up your comfort levels a little bit. This is very personal. Mia's a stunner. Sign me up. Okay. Thank you, Adrian.
Thanks. Muito obrigada.
Yes, no one ever says that.
It feels good to hear nice things, you know.
Yes, absolutely. Nothing can replace actually interacting with a human being, I think. Yeah, and that's true whether you're speaking a language or just to be a human being, you need to be interacting. So hopefully, coming back to the comments I think we made about coming out of lockdown is what Hank's referring to there. Bon dia also from Porto this morning. Joel's there. Seth 001 our secret agent there. Good morning from Cascais, from Caroline. Good morning, Caroline in Cascais.
I have people in Cascais, actually, cousins.
It's often the way, isn't it, with Portuguese people? So
Yeah.
that's your holiday network, isn't it?
Yeah, also. Not
Yeah.
only, but also, yeah. They are my cousins yeah.
Yeah. So which are the best cities to have cousins in? So presumably it's good to have someone in Figueira da Foz and someone in the capital every now and then, someone in the Algarve.
Yeah, I guess. I like Sintra. I like, Óbidos. I think it's very nice. It depends on the kind of vacation you like, right? I
Absolutely.
love Serra da Estrela, so
Yes.
the mountain. Yeah, Portugal is so beautiful. It's
It
better to have cousins everywhere.
That's what I was thinking. The more cousins, the better. Reservoirs in the River Ave basin are at 97%. That's good news, Mark. The rains can have a positive impact, even if I get soaked sometimes. So good news there. And November to February is the rainy season. I imagine that's a general comment, but I'm sure that's true in the north as well. Thanks, Mia, for your coaching there for Owen. What is it?
You're welcome.
Let's embed that learning, Owen. Put the revised version in the comments, please, if you will, or even send us a sung version of it. John Smith.
I can't comment, right? I think here.
You could send me in the private chat. You can, and I'll cut and paste it across if it's important to do. Yeah, absolutely.
I can try.
Yeah. Como que vai? What's that? How are you going? How are you doing? Is that more of a
colloquial way? Sim. That's more a formal way to say como é que vai. It's more formal for how are you, right? Okay. It's using the third person, which is the formal way of treating. Vai, it's like, this means how do you go?
Yep.
If you translate it literally. And yeah, it's the third person. So it's formal. If it would be the informal way, it could be vais, because it's tu, right? So we have this formal, informal way of treatment. I also cover that in the courses, and yeah.
Oh, terrific. So lots of little bits of learning here. Really helpful. Thank you very much, Mia. Guy comments his eyelids froze to his eyeballs, and Cole comments, that sounds uncomfortable. Master of understatement is Cole. Love it. Lol, says Hank. Talking of British restraint, I watched The Dig on Netflix. I urge you all to do that. My eyes have only just dried from watching it because it is a bit of a weepy one. I watched it twice, actually, because I asked Mrs. M to watch it with me, and I cried more in the second time around when I knew everything was going to happen. But it's talking of British restraint and understatement. Watch The Dig. Ralph Fiennes and Kerry Mulligan in that are superb. Just a little digression there. Sorry. And we do have I think we have the improved version, don't we, of what Owen was getting at there. We're not getting at you, Owen. We are just doing a little bit of coaching, a little linguistic coaching here with Mia this morning, and we'll come back to that. But there you go. Cada pequena coisa vai ficar.
That's the more literal translation, which is, it still sounds a little bit unnatural. I think we would say more like tudo vai ficar bem. That's like everything will be all right. I know that it's not every little thing. So if you want this really every little thing, then you go to cada pequena coisa, or, ou todas as pequenas coisas vão ficar bem. Can also be. I can also write that one.
Oh, that's terrific. And Owen has had a go. And now that it's already been reduced to tudo vai ficar bem, but that trips off the tongue nicely, tudo vai ficar bem. That should become a motto of the show for sure. So a bit of extra coaching again here for you, Owen. So we're going further into that. Really good, thank you. Todas pequenas coisas vão ficar bem. There you go.
Yeah, because because it's plural, more than one thing. We have two ways of saying. So it's each little thing or every little thing, you would say.
Tremendous. That's great. I know Nick is married to a Portuguese lady, but I think you need all the help you can get with Portuguese. And he's asking a question: is esperar to hope or to wait, or both?
Both. It's both. So it depends on the context. Okay. So you can say espero que fiques bem.
Yeah.
I hope you will be all right.
Yes.
Or I can say estou à espera do autocarro. I'm waiting for the bus, for example. So both. It depends. For example, when someone says esperando pelo sol, remember someone said before, waiting for the sun?
Yes.
Can be waiting or can be hoping. But in this case, since you have, I mean, it could theoretically be both. Estou a esperar pelo sol, but here I think it's more translated as waiting and not hoping, although it can have kind of both both these meanings, you know.
Well, certainly with the sun and with the bus, you can be hoping as well as waiting, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. And but you know, like for the bus, because we use espero, it's as hope in a bit of a different way. Like it's more really in specific context, you know, like espero que sim, like I really hope so. If you hear some news and then you are waiting for an outcome, you know, and then you'll say espero que sim or espero que não. I hope so. I hope not, etc. So it can really be both.
Both
things.
Thank you for that. There you go, Nick. I hope that's answered that for you. I'm sure it has. Bom dia todos. Love your courses, Mia. We combined it with physical lessons, so a lot of work. And this is what I was referring to earlier on. It's as if there isn't one correct way. It's like you need all the help you can get. Approach it from a number of angles. Would you recommend that, Mia, to sort of mix and match and find out what's best?
Sure. Like I think everyone has their own style. Yeah. And to learn, you know, and you should definitely try different things and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And it's fine if more than one thing work, you know, like if you mix things, it's totally fine. Oh, look, the sun is coming out.
we made the sun come out, everybody. I think we should take responsibility for that. Fantastic.
Yeah, but definitely try things out and see what's best for you.
Yeah, because everyone has their own approach to learning, don't they? Whether it be languages or anything else. Even life lessons. We all have our own way.
Exactly.
Bom dia de tomar reportage. That's cheeky, Maria, because we were talking to Thomas last week on Thursday about whether tomar is included in reportage or not. I think, strictly speaking, it is, isn't it? And I think the tourist board of reportage should definitely include tomar. But also a lot of people seem to put it in with Central Portugal. Nick, thank you. Duolingo has confused me. So we've got clarification for you there. Nick.
Yeah, don't. This is my advice, actually, for people who want to learn only European Portuguese and not Brazilian Portuguese, is to steer away from Duolingo. Because, you know, in terms of pronunciation, especially Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese are completely different. Yes. And I've had students come to me very confused because they thought they knew Portuguese because they've been doing everything with Duolingo, and then they arrive to Portugal or they speak to Portuguese people and they're like, what? This is another language. So in terms of grammar and vocabulary is not very different, although there are differences. But in terms of pronunciation is very different. It's like worlds apart. So if you can steer away from Duolingo and search for European Portuguese materials. That's my advice. Obviously, it is what it is. But
okay, and do what you got to do. But yeah, that's good advice. And I think the same is true. I thought it would be good for me to learn or have an extra resource learning Portuguese by listening to Portuguese music. But of course, the sort of music I like is often like So Jorge. And some really great music that is in Portuguese is again in Brazilian Portuguese, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's an amazing guy to listen to, and his songs are so great. But I'm going to be learning like a Brazilian Portuguese person, aren't I, if I sing his songs to my wife, for example.
Actually, that's another resource that it's in my speech course or in my story time. Now I'm not absolutely sure. Story time, I didn't speak about it. It's actually you can. Learn Portuguese through stories. So I wrote those stories and I read the stories, and you receive one story per week and it's all in Portuguese. But it kind of makes you interact with the language because you have a first part where you hear the story and you hear as many times as you need. And then in the second part, you listen to it again, but in chunks. And you answer questions about the story, but you're required to really answer them out loud as fast as you can. It can be a short answer, but it has to be as fast as you can. And you're required to do this also often until you feel more comfortable. This makes you kind of create some pathways in your brain that you didn't have before, and this will help you really understand the language in the long run. So, and in this course, I also have, I think it's either here or in the speech course, I have a resource, like I have a bonus, which is like resources in Portuguese. So music in Portuguese, where you can watch Portuguese television and Portuguese radio, where you can listen to it, and so on and so forth. So
very helpful.
Yeah.
So you'll be guiding people more to Amalia rather than Sir George, by the sound of it.
Yes, Amalia, and also other more, I could say contemporary, like newer songs and artists and so on. So
terrific. Okay, so
everything.
Do us a favor, go to expatsportugal.com/business directory. You'll find Mia in there, who we are affiliated with and who we're delighted to be working with. Great to have you on the show this morning, Mia. We are getting more comments and questions and hellos. Obrigada from Quero ser um gato. So this is an interesting word in Portuguese, and because you see no as an English speaker, and you think it might mean no. And it doesn't, does it? So that is esta no Central Portuguese, like it is in Central Portugal, right?
No.
Yes.
No. So this is the contraction of em, which is in. So that's the raw preposition, let's say.
Okay.
And u, which is the article. Why is it u? Because centro, so the word that comes after is masculine, the center, right? So o centro. Since we have em, which is, remember, the preposition in, and then we have u, which is the article, you have to put them together. You have to do it. And this will transform, so em plus u will transform into nu.
Okay.
So nu, in fact, are two words mashed together.
Yeah.
Or mushed together. I don't know how to say that.
Smushed, as my son says.
Mushed.
Yeah.
Smushed together. Okay. And so it's in the. Em, u. Together will be nu. If we had... sorry.
No, that helps, because having things explained is what helps the penny drop, right? And I didn't know that. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. I was just going to say, if you would have a feminine word instead of centro, you would have casa, for example, in the house. It would be na, because you would have em, and then you have a, which is the feminine article. So you would have na casa, in the house.
Fantastic. That's very helpful. And it's nu rather than no, because you would be mind possibly to pronounce it as no, because if you know that from English. But
of course.
Very good. Very, very good. And
you have to distance yourself from what you've learned your whole life. That's difficult at first, but you can get there.
Believe me, I'm trying. Quero ser um gato says sim as well about, I think that is about wanting to be a cat, and it may well be having a duvet day today, listening on the laptop. Bon dia, very grateful to you for the, it's a cliffhanger. We'll make come back to that. Carl, you really should be Mia's next client. Time to get to work on your Portuguese, my friend. Thank you, Pete. Yeah, I used to like Pete. Jacqueline, dear, very grateful to you for these lessons, is what Jacqueline wants to say. Maria Rosa, still smarting from Pete's comment there. I work with English people on P&O ferries, and a colleague was always saying, you talk always with a sh of the S at the end of the words. But there are exceptions, as we've discovered this morning, right, Mia?
Yeah, put a vowel afterwards, and you'll have a z instead.
Yeah,
which I'm not sure is better or worse. It's just how it is.
Okay, Nick is coming back on the hope and waiting. What would be I hope? Joel stepping in saying tenho esperança. That's kind of.
You can also say that. You can also say tenho esperança que. But again, it can also be eu espero. If you're saying eu espero que sim, we would also translate it as I hope so, for example. But tenho esperança is definitely another way. So
terrific. All right, and we can see, look, that Owen is practicing and getting to grips. Oh, so many comments. Thanks, everybody. I've sort of scrolled past there to discover a huge pile of comments that we'll work our way through this morning. But Owen, rest assured, Owen is doing really well and working on that. And yeah, bon dia, the dig was very good, says Doreen. Okay, onward. Is there a little bit of a Slavic influence on Portuguese? Why would Hank think that? What are the origins of Portuguese, Mia?
Yeah, so the thing is, Portuguese has a lot of different influences, so it's probably there. But I guess that is saying this because we do have a lot in common with Slavic languages. So people think we are Russian sometimes. If you know nothing of Portuguese, I've been mistaken for a Russian many, many times. And it's because of this sh, ny, you know, that the Russians also have. And I can definitely see some resemblance there. So I guess that we do have as well, but it's not the primary thing. But we had so many influences, you know, the Peninsula Iberica, so the Iberian Peninsula, I don't know, was like, had here a lot of people from every part of the world. So I guess that's very likely. But of course, our main influence is Latin. But there definitely are other influences around.
Okay. If there's a language that has as much verb complexity to Portuguese, it's French, says Joel. They have almost the same amount of verbs in their vocabulary. Yeah, my wife, Mrs. M, got a book of Portuguese verbs the other day. It's terrifying. But once you get stuck into it, it becomes less so. A question following on. Wouldn't you use the third person formal in this context and not the second person? I thought second person demonstrated family. Okay, so the borderlines, the boundaries of familiarity with Portuguese, is it just family and close friends, or can you make a call on that if you feel comfortable?
So normally, yes, that's what we would say, family and friends. But it can also depend. Again, it's a lot of context, right? Related. You have to kind of get a feel for it. So, for example, I use the informal way with you. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't offend you, Carl. But
right, I'm going to flounce out now of being treated like that on my own show. Honestly,
no. But honestly, I'm an informal person, and you know, for example, with my students, I always use the second person. But you're definitely right, John. In a context like this, it would probably be more common if, imagine we were all Portuguese, I would probably be using the third person. And so this is definitely the more formal thing, and the informal second person we would use with family and friends, or sometimes, for example, when I was at university, even if it was not my friend, it was just a colleague, but it was my age, you know, I would still use the second informal person. So you are right about that.
There you go, John. There you go. And Hank saying, furthermore to his comments about the Slavic influence, it also reminds me of a sexier Spanish. I think that will put a smile on a lot of Portuguese people's faces who might hear that. I agree, Hank. Jerry here from Expats Portugal. Good morning, Beauty and the Beast.
I'm the Beast, Carl.
No, we know who that's aimed at. Good morning, none taken. Pete and Jerry are on a special list now. Agree about the dig. Rafe finds Suffolk accent was spot on. I used to live about 10 minutes from Certain Ho. Film brought back great memories. Yeah, beautiful movie. French, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian all share the same ancestry language, Roman, Latin, of course. As Mia said there. Okay, so we've got some origins stuff there in the comments. That's great. And thank you all for helping each other out this morning in the comments, which is great. And I think, as well as Pete and Jerry winding me up this morning, Peter Bleach is now adding to this, because I think he's expecting me to say this, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to rise to this, Pete, but I'm just going to check out with Mia that it's a savoury thing to say.
He's asking what are the abbreviations, the most used ones, like obrigado, obrigado.
He's a show-off, though, isn't he, basically?
No, it's well done, Peter. Well done.
Stop it, Mia.
Well done.
Okay, well done.
I don't know, like, for example, here in Porto, if you want to say está tudo bem, that's the same as asking tudo bem.
Yep.
Sometimes we only say, like, especially younger people, for example, we used to say, for example, tá tudo. Tá tudo. Tá tudo.
Yes.
Tá tudo. comes from está tudo bem. So, for example, like that, tá tudo. Oh, I don't know. There are so many. And again, in these videos that I analyze in my speech course, you're going to see all of this because people use these abbreviations all the time. So there are so many, but from the top of my head, tattoo is one of them, for example.
That's great. And so some of these people, believe it or not, are friends of mine. And I would like to be able to say in a kind of, Londoner way, all right, mate, which would be tatud would be the first bit. But what do I say for mate or pal or friend? Do I say
pa?
Pa. So it'd be tatud pa would be like,
yeah,
all right,
exactly. Tatud pa.
Okay. When I feel like being friends with these people again, I might just say that. Can you suggest an alternative to Duolingo? This is for sort of instant translation purposes and building vocabulary.
Well, like an app, I think they mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Memrise has European Portuguese, or Drops, although it's a little bit different. So Drops. One of those. Or my courses. Come and join me.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's a given. And already someone just bought a course from Mia through our site, says Jerry at Expats Portugal. So well done, whoever that was, making the commitment to learning Portuguese. Really good. Yes, I'll be definitely checking out Mia's site, says Hank. What did Mia think of George Michael's pronunciation when he sang desafinado? Oh, okay. I didn't know he did that.
Okay, I'm going to correct you there. It's desafinado.
Of course it is, because there's an A after it. I know
exactly.
that, but I didn't remember at the time. I think that there's desafinado.
But this is one of those cases where the S is...
I know why, even though I got it wrong, which is good. I've learned something.
Honestly, I don't remember him singing this. It's very bad. I know which one it is. I think I've heard it sang by George Michael, but I don't remember what I thought of his pronunciation. I'll definitely have to look into that again.
Or Jorge Miguel, as we would might.
Jorge Miguel. Jorge Miguel.
Okay, now it all falls into place. Of course, Hank. She knows her stuff. Honestly, what are you like? Yes, frente is with a T in European Portuguese and sounds like French in Brazil. Yes, I mean that's what tends to happen.
Frente. That would be in Brazilian Portuguese. Yeah. Frente. And we say frente.
Frente, that's right. And things do get softened and lilted, don't they? With so saúde, I've heard, Brazilian friends. Saúde.
I mean, I love Brazilian Portuguese. I'm really, I'm a suspect in this sense.
I'm doing an audio course. The progress is so slow. I can't get past lesson 1. You're not supposed to move on until you get most of it right. We're with you, Louise. We're with you. Or maybe you need a change of course. I don't know.
You have to go really, you just really have to stick with it because, again, listening is one of the most important things you can do, for your language learning.
Yeah, indeed. So. Yep. Carry on, Louise. I'm sure you're doing better than you think you are. That's often the way, isn't it, as well with learning. The whys are always more important than the whats, in my opinion. Again, we are extrapolating language lessons into life lessons because that's true. That's a very philosophical point, Hank, that the whys are always more important than the whats. The theory of the language is critical. Agreed, Carl. Thank you, Hank. Doreen.
I think Hank will like the master course a lot and the speech course if he likes to know these things.
You know what?
But it's not only theory, though. It's a lot of practical as well.
Indeed, yeah. Don't be copping out of the practical there, Hank. We're watching you, Hank. But go to the business directory site, sign up for me. There's somebody we might have to, should I say, excuse from the group. You can't do this. I love your name, Funde Ramon, but you can't just be spamming people like that in our group. That's very rude. But he says, inbox me for accurate reading and a love spell. Yes, well, there was a time in my life when I might have got in touch with you through your inbox for a love spell, but not at the moment. So I'm just going to block you now, Funday, for doing that. You can't be treating our community like that. Penny is here. Yes, I was working in Mexico and then took a flight to Lisbon to speak at a conference. I arrived late at night. In the morning, I put on the TV and thought I'd woken in Russia. In Lisbon. Wow, it sounded so Slavic. Panicked from... Yes, that would cause you to panic, wouldn't it? You think you're in Lisbon. It's like, oh my God, I'm in Moscow. How did that happen?
I got the wrong plane. I shouldn't have taken those sleeping pills. Something.
It's a film. It's the basis for a movie. This has been wonderful, says Welcome. Please invite her back again. Mia has the key to the studio. She's welcome back anytime she wants to come here, of course. Studying European Portuguese is difficult. And before today, I did not know Brazilian Portuguese was so very different. Thank you. Welcome. It's a pleasure. Thanks, Mia. You explained very clearly.
You're welcome, everybody.
That's great. Memorize
That's
it. Fantastic. Agreeing with you. Andrea, good morning to you, Andrea Pereira. Good morning. Nice to put a face to the name. Oh, that's another really good reason for you being here, Mia, because people will know your voice. I think some people, tuning in will be like, I know that voice from somewhere. Oh, there she is. She's a real person. My teacher, Teresa, her in Belgium, always calls me Donna, and then I'm feeling old. Donna Gianni.
I hate if people, I mean, up until now, I haven't had that a lot. But if someone says, Senhora, I'm like, I'm so old, Donna is definitely for older people, but sometimes people play a little bit with that word as well. Yes. Menina is always the best. I love when people call me menina, which is girl or miss.
Well, that would work then. Every man needs to learn that to start off on the right foot with women in Portugal, then menina. Okay, that's good. I've heard a lot about Mia's classes. All good things have been heard about you there from Hannah. Great.
I like it. I like that.
Yes, come again and get more compliments. I've been struggling to communicate what I do for a living in Portuguese, says Lynette. What would be the best way? Oh, this is good. To say I'm an e-learning designer, i.e. I create online learning content. Lynette, what do you say so far? That you sort of trabalho a computador or something like that?
Trabalho no computador.
No computador.
So designer in Portuguese is designer. So that's... Okay. But you could say this is hard because this is like a new kind of profession. And I don't know, eu sou uma designer de cursos online, maybe. Or eu faço cursos online. I don't know. There is not really a name for it, So you'll kind of have to go a little bit around. You'll have to explain a little bit because even if there would be a name, I'm not sure people would know it.
Oh, then you'd be in trouble.
I have the same problem because I also do that, right?
Yes.
I say, yes, I'm a Portuguese teacher, sou professora de português. Sou professora de português. But then people ask me, where do you teach? And then I have to say, no, I don't. I actually create courses online. So it's the same kind of thing, right? I teach online, I could say. But anyways, I would say like designer de cursos online. Something like that.
All right, that's great. Sorry. Did you say what is simply to say I work online?
Trabalho online.
Trabalho online. Okay,
that's a simpler way to say it. Yeah,
that could be good, couldn't it? And I think that says the closest is teacher, so it would be professora, wouldn't it? So
professora,
it says the closet is teacher. That sounds like something Yoda would say, isn't it? The closet is the teacher. I am watching O Preço Certo. This is a really good idea.
Espetáculo.
That's
the main thing he says all the time. Espetáculo.
What's his name, that guy? Because he's a real cultural icon.
Fernando. Now I'm having a blank. Fernando Mendes, I think.
All right. So Americans and British people would know that as The Price is Right.
Exactly.
Watching a quiz show, you are going to learn some colloquial Portuguese, aren't you? And I think that's a very good idea. Let's see, Pete. I'll come back to your comment.
You know how he is known in Portugal, the presenter.
Is he a comedian? He's a funny guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's kind of a comedian. But do you know what his nickname is?
No.
He himself says that about himself. So, o gordo.
What, ugly?
O gordo. Gordo is fat.
Fatty.
Yeah.
Really?
He used to be really, really fat. Now he's much thinner, but he used to be really fat. And he himself calls himself o gordo. So
owned it. Well, okay, amazing. With Italian, a polite way to get around the formal versus informal predicament with a peer is to ask posso usare tu, the informal you. Do they do the same in Portugal?
Yeah, we do that. Posso tratá-lo por tu? That's the most common. Posso tratá-lo por tu? It's like literally, can I treat you by tu instead of você, or
Okay.
instead of the third.
Very
person.
good. Thank you for that. There you go, Doreen. Getting ready for Valentine's Day, obviously, is Gary over there in Alvagra. How do you say thank you, my darling?
Obrigado, minha querida.
Querida is a beautiful word in Portuguese, isn't it? Querida.
Querida.
Obrigado, minha querida. There you go, Gary. Very simple.
Minha.
Oh, minha querida, my darling, as in
Yeah, I can write it. You can put it
all
there.
right. Yeah, we need that one. We do need that one ready for Valentine's Day.
I will have a special in Valentine's Day, I think, in my YouTube channel.
Okay, is it guaranteed to find somebody sort of eternal love? Because that's the sort of thing.
Yes, come and you'll see.
All right, that's awesome. Thanks. I love that, says Anna de Silva. And let's go through, because we are coming up to 10 o'clock, folks. Liking the translation of online a lot. Yeah, that's very straightforward, isn't it? Which channel is it? Yes, which channel is Preço Certo?
Preço Certo, RTP1.
RTP1, there you go. The first one you come to.
Before Telejornal, every night of the week.
Oh, I see. Just to cheer everybody up before the news. Fantastic. These spammers this morning are very annoying. Go away, you lot. We're having a fun time here. If Google Translator, I recommend word by word and not phrases. European Portuguese isn't well translated.
No, exactly.
Say that about
Don't
Google.
use Google Translator. There's a better dictionary called Lingui.
Okay, Lingui. Yes, people speak highly of that. Yes, for sure. Mia, do you have this is the A2, I think Hank's talking about.
Yeah, I have A1, A2. That's the best thing.
Okay, and a YouTube channel?
Yes, I have. It's called Mia Esmeriz Academy.
Okay, we'll get that in the comments as well. Folks, we're going to have to sort of bring a close to the comments there, because we're coming up to 10 o'clock and we'll exhaust Mia at this rate, but she's been amazing this morning. I'm sure you'll agree. My husband is not very good at English, but your course is clearer than physical course here in Belgium based on Dutch. Mia, meu marido... Oh, she's done it. She's translated that.
Não é muito bom em inglês, mas o seu curso é mais claro do que o curso físico aqui na Bélgica, baseado em holandês. So it's the same, but translated into Portuguese. So Thank you, Jeannie.
We're thinking that is working well for hubby there. Carla Freeman, thanks for the introduction to learning Portuguese. I speak intermediate Spanish. I can read some in your language. How do you think my Spanish might help? I hope so. A very common question, isn't it? I can speak Spanish. Portuguese is going to be easy. Not true.
No, it's again the pronunciation. So for sure, Spanish is going to help in terms of grammar, vocabulary. You're going to recognize some words, at least when they are written down. So it can help, but again, you have to pay attention to the pronunciation, which is like, again, worlds apart. So it can help, but it can also actually hinder. Is that how you say it? Like it can.
Yep.
Yeah. So you should, be cautious and pay attention to the pronunciation. But yeah, it can help if you know how to use it to your advantage. Right.
Terrific. Yes, a little bit of help, but don't rely too much on that. There you go, Gary. Obrigada, minha querida. And it is Mia Esmeriz on YouTube.
Esmeriz. Actually, sorry. No, don't worry. I'm seeing, because I wrote obrigada, and that's if I would say as a girl. As a guy, you have to say obrigado. It was my mistake.
I think we know that now. That's embedded in quite a few of us, the O and the A there, because we've had to say that in cafes. But I think Gary will have got that.
So Gary should be obrigado. Should say obrigado.
Let's put that in specifically for him. My goodness, you're a quick typist. So for Gary and males saying this, obrigado, minha querida, saying this has been great. It has been amazing. Thank you from Anna Silva. Deeple is also
You're welcome.
In from Marcus, a good resource. And you were going to tell us, actually, for everything to do with Mia, do please go to our business directory. Let me just put the link for that one more time. If you want to sign up, as I said before, it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, so the basic course is for free. It's the Kickstarter course. You can check it out, see if you like my way of teaching and me, and But I wanted to say, because I started doing all these courses. So I have 3 core courses, which is the 3 I already explained: master course, speech course, and story time. But then I thought that, there was something missing, and I decided to put them all together in one course, and I give a 6-month roadmap to fluency. So it's a map that will help you navigate my courses in the best way, because I have an approach, a different approach, if you want to say it, that I think you should first focus on the sounds, the pronunciation, try to get it. You don't have to get it 100% right at the beginning. That's not going to happen, but at least get the gist of it before starting right away with the grammar and so on. So I put this roadmap together. I added some bonuses like dialogues in Portuguese and language learning 101 to help you with your motivation and to help you understand that everyone can learn a language. In fact, most of my students I come to realize they are older than 50. So don't be afraid if you're older, because that's fine. I have some younger students as well. So I have people from every background, so anyone can learn a language. So I have a lot of bonuses there. And I have this roadmap, which I think is the most important thing, because you will have things divided in weeks, and I'm going to tell you, okay, this week do this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And then the next week you do that, the next week you do that. Because I think a lot of people don't have a plan from beginning to end. And I think that's important. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this in a way that will be easier for people to become fluent faster. And of course, I say 6 months. It doesn't need to be in 6 months. It will all depend on the person. You can adapt to your life however you prefer. And it's not guaranteed. I can't guarantee that you'll be fluent in 6 months, but I give you the tools and the knowledge to do that if you want it, if you put your heart into it. So
that would be quite a lot to ask for, but that's amazing.
That's the all-in-one Portuguese course, because I put everything in one place so that you can navigate my courses better.
Your products and your service and your approach was amazing, and you just keep innovating. So there's the link to that new course that Mia's talking about there in the comments. If you just want to go straight to that, it'd be awesome for us if you use that particular affiliate code, obviously. So do please go in via that link if you want to take advantage of what
you can pay one time up front or in 3 times. I think it's 3 times I have there.
It just gets better and better, Mia. Actually, and for the first lesson, she comes around and makes you a cup of coffee. Not really.
If I could.
If she could, she would. Okay. We have lovely comments coming in. We have thanks, Mia. We nearly finished, Mia. Thanks, Mia and Carl. Another fantastic show. Mia, please come back and do another show. Really appreciate your time. I mean, you're saying your students are over 50. That's the demographic here. The main thing here is people remembering their glasses when they watch the show, and actually even knowing why they've walked into the room. Oh, yes, I was about to watch the Good Morning Portugal show. You can set a reminder, you oldies, on YouTube, so you know. You could get an orientation first thing in the morning at 9 o'clock from me. That's if I remember to go into the right room. Please remind me of the name of the app, alternative to Google Translate. Lingui, wasn't it? And Deeple?
Yeah, so Memrise. And I don't know, the app is Memrise and Drops. Those are 2 apps. And the dictionary is Lingui or Deeple, like you said. I use Lingui personally.
Okay, that's a good endorsement. In America, regional accents are very important. Is this true in Portugal as well? Are people looked down upon for being from the countryside rather than the city?
Yeah, you don't even need to go to the countryside. For example, Porto people, we have a very specific accent. Yes. And people from the south sometimes think that, we are weirdos when we speak.
We're very lucky, actually, that Mia hasn't been swearing all the time, because that's another thing Porto people do, isn't it? Every other word.
Not me, but
yes. I was joking. Obviously, you're very well behaved.
Yeah, I know. But it's true. We kind of play more loosely here with the swear words.
You only have to watch The Man Cave last Friday. Joel was there. He's from Porto. Oh my goodness, I was blushing. I think I'm a man of the world. I was blushing from that Porto Prince that is
But
Joel.
for us, like for many people here, that doesn't mean like they don't mean to be rude or anything. It's just like
But try explaining that to all the Americans who are watching. He wasn't being rude, honestly. We'll see. We'll check the diplomatic fallout next Friday. Yes, Donna Johnny is 60, and I think your tools are great. She's only
Obrigada.
Donna.
She's my student. I recognize her from.
Yes, indeed. And we have a lovely a thank you, sort of goodbye here. Obrigado, menina, Mia e vovô Carl. Now, apparently, he's calling me. Have you been looking at my Facebook pictures again? I only dressed up as a woman twice, okay? But is that Grandma Carl he's calling me there?
Grandpa.
Oh, Grandpa, okay. Because
Vovô. If it was grandma, it would be vovó. It would open.
Changed it then. All right, I'll take it. It is literally true that I am a granddad. Carl is referring to me. Yes, I am, with your effing and jeffing on Friday. Thank you so much. What a lovely lady, Jacqueline in late.
Thank you.
Another Donna there, Donna Jacqueline, over there in Caldash. What? Oh, they're not letting you go.
It's okay. I'm fine.
Dennis says, what sites do you recommend for finding land for? Come to us on Wednesday. Ask anything about Portugal or just join our forum. Dennis, that's a great question for our forum, expatsportugal.com/community. I think we've covered it there. We have one last comment coming in from Pete because, of course, he has designed these beautiful videos for us. This is the first time he says that I've been looking forward to the end of the show. Nothing to do with today's guest or host, who have been great, he says. It's to do with his video that he wants to, that I want to play and that Pete made for me. Sorry if we didn't get to your comments this morning. Mia, you have been...
Everyone can email me as well if they want, so...
They can?
With questions.
What a service. That's absolutely wonderful and generous of you.
I don't know if I can write my email if you want.
That'd be great. Arvo. See, this is why we call Gary Garvo, because he's a bit of a granddad in our community. Arvo the Garvo. And I wasn't finished. Plenty more to come, he's saying. Okay, just put your email address on the screen there. As I say, thank you so much. Muito obrigada, menina Mia.
Muito obrigada, yo. Okay. Muito obrigada, yo.
That's another thing. So in your shop, you say thank you, obrigada, and the shopkeeper might often say obrigada. Is that like, no, thank you?
Yeah, exactly. That's no, thank you. But we say, no, I thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Obrigada, eu.
So that's another bit of vocabulary for Valentine's night as well. I think we can include that. And Mia, thank you so much. Lovely to have you. Please do come again. Okay,
yeah, sure.
Here's long-awaited video. There's Mia's email address. You very kindly offered to respond by email. You've got all the links in the comments there for joining up. And as you now know, join up free of charge. Mia, go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say, even if you sign up for one of my courses, I'm always available through email, through these emails. So it's not like you're going to buy it and then get forgotten somewhere, because I'm here and you can email me with your questions.
She is a real person, not somebody pretending to be a language teacher.
No.
You can see she's a lovely real person who will respond to you via email as well as part of the package that you may buy from her. Mia, muito obrigado. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. See you.